Been moved by the Honourable Minister of Finance, seconded by the Honourable Premier, that this House approves in general the budgetary policy of the government. The Honourable Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, and thank you to everyone who has joined us here today for our government's second budget. C'est avec beaucoup d'humilité que nous vous accueillons à l'Assemblée législative et que nous nous engageons sur une voie positive pour le Manitoba ensemble. On behalf of the Manitoba government, we honour the sacredness and importance of this land and the ancestors that once walked where we are standing today. The Anishinaabe, the Cree, the Dene, the Dakota, the Métis, the Inuit, and the Anishinaabe nations who paved the way to what is now known as Manitoba, home to all treaty people. Honourable Speaker, as Manitobans, we are proud of who we are. We are proud to be Canadian. I am delivering this budget at a pivotal moment in our great nation's history. Donald Trump has threatened our sovereignty and our economy. This threat is unjustified. This threat is a tax on working people. From manufacturing plants in the Pembina Valley to the nickel mine in Thompson and the steel mill in Selkirk, we know this tax will harm regular people on both sides of the border. Here in Manitoba, our team will always fight to lower costs for families. We did it when the previous government raised rents and hydro rates, and that is what we were elected to do before Trump, now, and long after he's gone. Let us be clear, our fight is not with all Americans, it is with one American. We have stood shoulder to shoulder with Americans as allies on the battlefield. Together, we have protected peace and defended democracy around the world. We didn't start this fight, but we are not backing down. We are building one Manitoba. This budget meets the moment with a record $3.7 billion in capital projects to put Manitobans to work and protect our economy. We're building schools, emergency rooms, and personal care homes. We're building highways and bridges, channels, and airports. The only thing we're tearing down, Honourable Speaker, are trade barriers between provinces. And Honourable Speaker, not only does this budget build Manitoba, it builds Canada. Our government responded right away to Trump's tariff tax. From a council on U.S. trade to tax deferrals for businesses to a buy local campaign. We have built an entire contingency budget with hundreds of millions of dollars in support to help businesses pivot to new markets, help workers skill up and find good jobs, and support our canola farmers and pork producers facing tariff threats from the U.S. and from China. We are putting Manitoba workers and businesses ahead of American corporations. And today, I'm proud to announce that we are ending the previous government's multi-million-dollar contract, the contract they signed with a Texas firm for your park passes. And while we're at it, Honourable Speaker, we are going to make entry to Manitoba's parks free for the entire year. So Manitobans and Canadians can explore our beautiful province here in the heart of our great nation. When our new government was sworn in, healthcare was in chaos. Manitobans will never forget how the previous government cut and cut and cut. They fired nurses, they disrespected doctors, and they ignored healthcare workers. We said we would be different, and we are. Under our new government, frontline healthcare staff have good deals, fair wages, better work-life balance, and safer workplaces. Today, There are 1,255 net new healthcare workers on the front lines of Manitoba's healthcare system, and we're paying them what they deserve with a historic investment in the people who care for Manitobans. Honourable Speaker, we now have a solid foundation of staff, and we are ready to start building. Budget 2025 puts shovels in the ground this year on the new ER and Mature Women's Centre at the Victoria Hospital, the new ER in Eriksdale, and a new healthcare centre of excellence in downtown Winnipeg. We are renovating the Children's ER to provide better care and comfort to families with sick kids. And we will make sure the land on the Victoria General Hospital grounds is put to good use to support the construction of the Ann Oak Family Recovery Centre. And while the previous government broke their promise to seniors in Lactobani and Transcona, we are breaking ground. This year, construction starts on new personal care homes in Lactobani and Transcona. And we are moving ahead with a third personal care home in Arborg. We are opening 3 new clinics, adding hundreds of surgeries at the Grace Hospital and in Selkirk, not in the United States. And we're bringing ER wait times down by adding 90 more beds to our hospitals. After the previous government tried to privatize the Sleep Disorder Centre at Misericordia, we are adding new public funding to help more Manitobans. Budget 2025 takes better care of our seniors with a new $40 million investment in frontline staff. It takes better care of families in the north with staffing for a mobile MRI for the north. And it takes better care of women. Because on this side of the border, on this side of the House, we believe in a woman's right to choose. We will always protect safe access to abortion and reproductive health care. Budget 2025 invests in safe abortion services at the Women's Health Clinic, funding to include Plan B in our free birth control program, and new and transformative health care for women with menopause and perimenopause. We're rebuilding health care for you. Honourable Speaker, our government is here to help your family with savings where you need it most. On your drive to work with permanent gas tax relief. When you drop your kids off at daycare with over $2,000 a year in savings. And every month with our hydro rate freeze. We're increasing our homeowner affordability tax credit, saving families $1,600 a year. Renters will also save more with our second increase to the Renters Affordability Tax Credit. At the grocery store, we're putting a stop to big grocery monopolies that drive up prices. We're renewing our successful home security rebate to save you money. And when it comes to the popular EV rebate, we're keeping that going too. But we've made a few improvements. No more Teslas. And no rebates for EVs manufactured in China either. I think that's something we can all agree on. You work hard, and you should be able to afford the basics, save for the future, and be able to take the kids to a movie or a Jets game. We're going to make sure that in Manitoba, you can. Our government is building Manitoba's economy and creating good jobs. Budget 2025 includes the biggest investment in capital funding in Manitoba's history, $3.7 billion to build Manitoba and build Canada. Budget 2025 will create nearly 18,000 new jobs, increase wages and salaries for Manitobans by $1.3 billion, and lift our GDP by $2.3 billion. Honourable Speaker, I want to take a moment to tell you what we're building. Phase 2 of the water treatment plant in Winnipeg, built with good union jobs. $881 million in upgrades to the hydro infrastructure that powers our economy and keeps our lights on across the province. A historic $809 million investment in Manitoba's infrastructure, twinning Highway 1, building the Lake St. Martin and Lake Manitoba outlet channels the right way, and moving forward with the Wasagamacq Airport. We are building up the Port of Churchill and the Hudson Bay Rail Line to strengthen our trade corridor, access tidewater, and protect northern sovereignty. We're building the next generation of affordable clean energy in partnership with Indigenous nations. That's 600 megawatts of wind power to keep rates low for Manitobans, and a new Indigenous loan guarantee program to get it done. And, Honourable Speaker, I think you're going to like this. We are building a new gold mine in northern Manitoba. That's right. Our team is proud to get a new mine to the construction phase within 18 months of taking office. Honourable Speaker, we're helping local businesses too. Today, I'm announcing that we are reducing the payroll tax to help 875 Manitoba businesses create more jobs and compete in new markets. Budget 2025 also includes $10 million for a new business security rebate that will give small business owners the supports they need to stay open and stay safe. Right on. And while Manitobans and Canadians cancel those trips down south, we're investing an additional $4.5 million in Travel Manitoba to boost our economy and showcase our beautiful province to the rest of Canada and the world. Manitobans are proud of where we live, but under the previous government, your roads got worse, crime got worse, and projects ground to a halt. Put simply, they stopped building this province. We're gonna build. After years of a funding freeze, the ground is starting to thaw. Last year, we increased municipal funding by 2%, and this year, we're doing it again. But that's not all. Our new One Manitoba Growth Revenue Fund gives municipalities a dedicated 4% of gas tax revenue to build hockey rinks, playgrounds, and community centres, and deliver quality services to you, the people of Manitoba. From Brandon to Boissevain, from Winnipeg to Winkler, from Carman to Churchill, we're bringing hometown pride back again. Budget 2025 builds 11 new schools over the next 3 years so kids can get the attention they need from their teachers and families can send their kids to a good school in their neighbourhood. Schools in Radisson, in West St. Paul, and two new schools in Brandon, including one school for La Division Scolaire Franco-Manitobaine. We're making sure that every school in Manitoba has the supports kids need, and that no child has to go to class on an empty stomach. And we're going to make sure that no government can ever take that away. It's called Nello's Law. We love you, Nello. Manitoba has some of the most pristine lakes and majestic forests anywhere in the world, and our government is protecting them. We're stopping the spread of zebra mussels and protecting our forests with 3 new water bombers to fight forest fires and protect northern and rural communities. Where are those water bombers made, you ask? I'm proud to tell you they are made right here in Canada. No matter where in Manitoba you live, our government wants you to feel safe walking home or waiting at the bus stop. This budget increases justice funding by $76 million to hire more police officers, crack down on drug traffickers, and stop retail crime. And when Manitobans are ready to find their way home, our government will be there to help. This budget commits 670 social and affordable housing units, and it provides $73 million to support our government's plan to end chronic homelessness. Honourable Speaker, in Manitoba, when someone goes missing, we go looking. And that's just who we are. Last year, I stood in this chamber and announced that we would search the landfill. And now, a year later, in a search that put the families first, we have now found Morgan Harris and Mercedes Myron. Together, Manitobans have shown Canada and the world who we are. We're one people, one Manitoba, and we don't leave people behind. We're bringing them home. Honourable Speaker, it's an honour to serve the people of Manitoba. We know families interact with government every day in ways big and small. And we're committed to working hard for you with services that make your life easier. We're mailing out new plastic health cards with a beautiful Northern Lights design chosen by Manitobans. Our new Buy Canada policy will make sure government contracts support Manitoba and Canadian businesses and workers. And when it comes to being responsible with the books, I'm proud to say that we've made significant progress reducing the previous government's historic deficit, and we are on track with a path to balance in 2027. Honourable Speaker, today is a special day. It is the International Day of the Francophonie. Je suis heureux de vous annoncer que ce budget renforce les services en français au Manitoba, avec davantage de personnel pour offrir des services, une stratégie pour former et recruter plus d'enseignantes et d'enseignants de langue française, ainsi que des ressources et des formations linguistiques additionnelles dans la fonction publique. Et nous construisons 2 écoles dans la division scolaire franco-manitobaine à Winnipeg et à Brandon. Quant aux nouvelles cartes de santé que j'ai mentionnées tout à l'heure, je suis aussi fier de dire qu'elles sont bilingues. Last year, our budget was about uniting Manitobans under one positive vision for the future. After years of cuts and division, Manitobans wanted something to believe in. We laid out our vision for one Manitoba, and this year, we're building it. Manitoba is a special province. We have a wealth of critical minerals that the world needs. We have a stable, diversified economy. We have farmers and producers that are leading the way in the agriculture sector. Business leaders with big hearts and big ideas. We're a central trading hub, connected by road and rail to the rest of the country and by the Port of Churchill to the rest of the world. But what makes Manitoba truly special is you, the hardworking, compassionate people who power our economy and care for each other, the people who make this province home. Honourable Speaker, I'm delivering this budget at a pivotal moment in our great nation's history. Canada's strongest partnership is being tested like never before. This is a difficult challenge for Manitoba and for Canada, but it is also a moment of great opportunity. Honourable Speaker, no longer will Manitobans and Canadians allow forces outside our control to determine our future. No longer will we let our future rest in someone else's hands. We have to build it ourselves true north, strong and free. We are building one Manitoba together. Now let's get building.